Hey everybody, it's 12:06 on a Saturday afternoon. You know what that means? It's time for Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch and Shelley Winter. This show is designed for you to call us at 404-872-0750 or 1-800-WSB-TALK and ask any automotive question of our expert, Kevin Deutsch. Kevin is the general manager of Butler Lexus South Atlanta. Kevin, spring is here.
Man, spring has come, hasn't it?
It's here. The pollen is here. My car is yellowish green now. So let's run down. You have a good list of things that I never thought of about how to prepare your car for spring and summer in Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. Georgia, every state's going to be different based upon the weather. And Georgia, you need to take extra care because of extreme humidity and high heat. And like right now, the intense pollen season. So all these things affect your car. So getting your car ready for spring and summer, we always do it for fall and winter.
Right.
But no one ever talks about, what's different in spring and summer. With the heat here, the first thing I'm going to look at is getting your cooling system serviced. It's once a year. It's your primary defense against these hot days.
Now, cooling system, is that different than your AC?
Well, no, it's not, but it is also, you could put them all together. Like, for instance, your cooling system is what's going to cool your engine down from overheating
Gotcha.
and keep you from getting your heads cracked or blowing something and needing an engine. So I would consider a coolant flush, because it's Georgia, every 30,000 miles. And if you go to 40, that's fine. But every third, and I say 40 because if you have a newer car and you use all synthetic oil and you only change it every 10,000 miles,
right,
then do it every 40 is fine. But get it done. Have them drain it and put in, flush it and put in new coolant.
Now, on a coolant flush, is that the antifreeze? Is that what we call
antifreeze? Yeah.
So can we do that ourselves, or in the newer cars you have to flush it out?
No, you can do it if you know how to do it and if you're handy. Just when you take a look at how we do things traditionally, it was every 60,000 miles.
Gotcha.
But with the heat here, it's completely different.
Right.
And our driving conditions in Metro Atlanta. And,
stop and go, right?
And you don't realize that there's no such thing as a flat street in Atlanta. We're built in basically in the foothills of the mountains, so everything has a grade. So you're always pushing a car uphill. Get that, but also do a hose inspection. Check for cracks and bulges and soft spots, and they can lead to like a sudden breakdown and a problem. Again, once you lose your cooling system, it's real easy to overheat your car, and that's when disaster happens.
Understood.
And then your air conditioning would be next. Air conditioning, cabin health. Have an AC performance test done in the early spring. Find out if you have any leaks. Make sure you do it before the peak heat hits. And then you can get a recharge on refrigerant or fix a leak while it's a minor leak instead of a major leak. Because we know in Georgia, you don't want to be driving around in this traffic with no AC.
No, wait. Now, here's my question. As we go down this list, we take our cars to the dealership to get the oil changed. Do we have to ask for these things, or are they done automatically?
Right. So when you take it to a dealership, you should be getting an MPI at no charge from.
What's an MPI?
Multi-point inspection.
Gotcha.
And in our case, it's like a 60-point multi-point inspection, and we always give it to you. And we tell you what's green and what's red. And then sometimes it's yellow, which means you don't need to fix it this time, but when you're here in 10,000 miles, we'll want to look at that again.
Gotcha.
Sort of like your doctor says, you know what, your cholesterol's a little high. We're not going to do anything today, but I want you to come back in 6 months. We're going to do blood work again and check it out. So that's what that is. And when you get your oil changed, a good dealership's going to ask you to change your cabin filters. And you're going to want to change them in the spring because of all the pollen. They just get nasty.
Right.
And then once you start getting into the heat and everything else, your cabin filters are not expensive, but it's something that should be done regularly. Every 6,000 to 10,000 miles is great. But in the spring, change them.
Change them. Right.
Yeah, that way you're starting off fresh. And then people don't realize We'll talk about the pollen wort again in the spring, but the UV in the sun, what it does to the exterior of your vehicle, it's incredible. Wash your car regularly, twice a week this time of year, because you want to get all of that stuff off of there because you get the heat, but we have humidity and we have the dew at night, and then it all sticks to your car. So if you just brush it off, it's still there and it's getting baked in. And you need to wax your car or do a ceramic coat. I'm not a big fan of $3,000 of ceramic coats.
Right.
It's a lot of money. Wax your car. What it does is unbelievably different. It's like going out using sunblock. You go out and you don't use sunblock, you burn. You use sunblock, you don't burn.
Now, a lot of these car wash places will offer the silver or gold packages. They have what's called wax sealant. That's not what you're talking about, right?
No, but it's better than nothing.
Nothing. Gotcha.
Right, but a hand wax or getting people can put a chemical on that's like a sealant that lasts a lot longer than wax. If not, waxing needs to be done 4 times a year. But the UV rays, and I'll explain paint because people don't understand paint as much. You've got your paint, then you've got another layer of paint called clear coat, and that's exactly what it is. It's clear. So if you clear out the clear coat, and the sun's beating down on it, and it just pulls the minerals out of the paint. So even with the clear coat, you do need a good wax job.
Let's go on to tire and battery because we did this in the fall. You say check tire pressure weekly. Why is that important?
Again, with the heat, air expands. You also you want to be tires are very important. If you're underinflated or overinflated, what can happen is your wear can be uneven. Safety can be a problem. You can hit a soft spot or curb, and it creates a bubble on the side of your tire. So I tell people to always inspect their tires. And
even on new tires or fairly new tires?
Well, it's brand new. You walk out and you hit a curb. What happens?
Gotcha.
So check the sidewalls are the weakest part of the tire, and that's what hits the curbs or these potholes. So look for bubbles and look for little things like that. And then also understand the wear bars that are on tires. So when you get your wear bars, there'll be a little bar on the tire that you can see, and it'll be in between the tread. And if the tread's out past the wear bars, you're good. When it gets even with it, you need tires. We showed it to you in the dealership, remember?
Right.
And then also,
and mine were down to the wire.
Yes, yours are down to the wire. But also you have to check for feathering and wear on the inside of the tire and outside of the tire tread.
What's feathering?
Where it looks like it's feathered on the inside, and it's because that your camber is off, which means you need to get alignment. So if your tires are wearing unevenly, you're not getting the handling and performance and safety you need.
Now, batteries. Now, I would never have thought about this because of the weather or because, spring and summer is coming in high heat, but your battery.
Yeah, absolutely. Batteries last, basically, I trust them for about 3 years. Now, they may have a 5-year warranty that's prorated, but batteries usually last about 3 years. Heat and cold is very damaging to them. So don't go to Ace, don't go to Advanced Auto or O'Reilly's. Go someplace good and have an advanced battery check done. So, for instance, they'll go check one and they'll tell you in 3 minutes if it's good. It takes us close to an hour. We hook it up to a computer, download it, send it all the way to Toyota. They do a full analysis, send it back, and they let us know what's going on. So have a good analysis done on your battery or be safe.
How many times? When? Every 3 years or 4 years or 5 years? Or
I do it in the spring and summer.
Spring, okay,
but
just have it checked.
Once it hits 3 years old, you
Gotcha.
really need to be checking it because that stuff wears. So, check your tire pressure in your battery terminals. Make sure that they're not corroded. Change your oil. I tell people every 3 to 10,000, and let me explain. If you're driving an old car and you think you're saving money with a $49 oil change, you're really not. because if you go to synthetic, which is a much better oil and doesn't break down in the heat of the summer, you can go 10,000 miles. So it just depends on the oil that you're using.
Gotcha.
On how often you do it. Again, replace your engine and cabin filters every 5 to 10,000. My gosh, coolant and oil flush, like we said, every 30. And then you should have a summer emergency kit, like we talked about on winter.
Run through that really quickly.
Drinking water, windshield sunshade, jumper cables or a box, flashlight, maybe a sign that says you need help, first aid kit, and then extra coolant, or even and then a tire pressure gauge. Those are just quick little things.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. The name of the show is called The Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch of Butler Lexus South Atlanta. That's your spring and summer, preparing your car for the spring and summer in Georgia. We're taking your calls next. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK.